Hello. So, my presentation is going to be looking at my findings on the history of monogamy as a way to oppress women's sexualities and how polyamory could be a potential way to liberate women. Women's sexual repression is an extremely important discussion because it has been blatantly interwoven into our social institutions within our society in America. Most of my resources confirmed my assumption that monogamy has been the default for centuries in what is known as compulsory monogamy, which is basically the preconceived assumption that someone will grow up and engage in a monogamous relationship and continue on with life in that way. I looked a lot to Rothschild's piece called Compulsory Monogamy and Polyamorous Existence. This source examines the way that monogamy is constructed in America and how it has been interwoven into our society. It explains how monogamy has been normalized as the only way to have a normal and healthy relationship. Rothschild makes an argument that mononormativity is a sex negative paradigm, meaning that having this idea that monogamy should be the default creates negativity around any other form of being. This then glorifies the idea of heterosexual sex and creates an idea of perverted sex in any case that is not monogamous. This creates a sexual double standard that plays into the idea that traditional heterosexual sex is the norm. This traditional view being that women should submit to their husbands because men are hypersexual and women are there to aid men with their sexual needs. Monogamy has been used to confine women to one relationship where they are expected to take care of a masculine person in sexual and domestic ways. Rothschild states that looking at relationships through a polyamorous lens can help to deconstruct the mononormative double standard that we exist in currently. Marriage as a social institution within the United States has been exclusively aiding the unions between heterosexual men and women. But as time has progressed, marriage as the rigid companionship of one man and one woman has become less of the main goal for Americans. My second source that I looked at a ton for this was Sherlin, I believe is how you say it, titled Deinstitutionalization of Marriage. This article looks into how marriage used to be a symbol of status, but no longer carries the same weight that it once did. As this deinstitutionalization has been unfolding, people have begun to marry one another out of love rather than out of financial security and acceptance. Although putting that you're married onto your tax forms still adds benefits for you, it is something that is not as it's not as concretely wanted as it once was. Um, with this, polyamory has become more prevalent. People are realizing that relationships do not have to solely exist between two people. Love can be found in many different forms among many different people. Sherlin found that as marriage has become less prevalent, cohabitation has become a lot more popular, meaning that people are realizing that they don't need to have this nuclear family of getting married right out of college and having a bunch of children and living with the same partner forever. It's something that now women and men alike are able to explore multiple different relationships if they so choose, to find who they're looking for and what they're looking for. So through polyamory, women can explore themselves and other people, finding out what they like and what they do not. So, um, yeah. Um, I do think after like doing this presentation that I definitely need to find more concrete facts and figures on polyamory, as I have a ton on monogamy itself, but in my transition to the second part of my thesis, being about polyamory itself as a way for women to be sexually liberated, I definitely need to look into more sources that can help me concretely state that. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.